So this movie begins in a mental institution where some creepy guy's dragging a chair to sit next to some other creepy guy who's staring out the window. So this guy proceeds to tell the other creepy guy how creepy he really is, but talking about some really perverted, fucked up shit. So these two college girls are talking to the head doctor about interviewing somebody for the college paper. The doctor's all like, "Well, you go right ahead, but be careful." We find out that the creepy guy who is staring out the window is the guy that they're planning on interviewing, because his time is up and they're about to let him free. So, and then the doctor guy tells one of the college girls that she's not allowed to ask any questions, and then tells the other one that she has to get out for no reason, just because he's just being a dick. And the doctor guy thinks he has to fix the lights for Carl. The creepy guy is about to come in. And Carl tells a story about the good old days when he killed his mom. He killed some little 12-year-old who was having sex with his mom. And he did it with a sling blade. He says that he killed his mom with a sling blade. Hence the movie title. So after the interview, Carl gets released from the mental asylum with a bunch of books. And he goes around his hometown and reminiscing about his depressing childhood. And he walks around. He walks around some more. He walks around. He stares at the camera. And then Carl goes to some place that sells food, and he stands around, and he stands around, and he asks if they have any food for sale. And then the other guy says, "Yeah, we got French fries in here." And Carl says, "French fry potatoes?" And the other guy's like, "Yeah, French fries." And Carl's like, "Oh, I reckon I'll get me some of the bacon." So while Carl's sitting around eating his French fries, he meets some 12-year-old kid who's doing his laundry, I guess, and he finds out the kid's dad is dead, and he's living with his mom, and yeah, he finds out the kid needs help with his laundry, I guess. So Carl helps the kid with his laundry. And he also tells the kid that he fucking killed people, and the kid doesn't care. And Carl walks around some more. And then he goes back to the mental institution and tells the doctor that he wants to come back because he thinks the world is too big. So the doctor gets him a job fixing lawnmowers with these two fat guys that like telling penis jokes. Then he goes to that kid's house and stands around until the kid finally comes to the door. And the kid's like, "I thought that was you standing on my porch. How you doing, buddy?" Because this kid obviously isn't creeped out. So the kid takes Carl to meet his mother over at Hoochie's Dollar Store, where he meets his mom and he meets Vaughn, the manager. And the mom agrees to let Carl stay in their garage. Carl goes to the kid's house and finds out that he lives with his mom's abusive boyfriend, who's really charming. And then Carl goes out to lunch with the manager guy and finds out that he's a homosexual, which they don't do very good around small towns. So the guy tells Carl that he thinks they have a lot in common in some sort of way. And then he tells him to be real careful around Doyle, the kid's abusive the mom's boyfriend, because Doyle is a fucking asshole. And Vaughn gets bullied by Doyle, and Doyle is an alcoholic, like me. And we find out real quick that Doyle is a fucking dick. Because during dinner, when everything's peaceful, he decides to throw a party so he can invite his band over and party their asses off. Woo! So we find out that Doyle's band is comparable to a Kid Rock tribute band. So it's not very surprising that the neighbors don't really like his music. So some old guy yells and Doyle says, "Shut the fuck up! You ain't gonna do shit! I'm friends with the chief of police!" Something like that. So it turns out the band itself is actually a collection of very colorful characters, which I quickly learned to enjoy. And the lyricist of the group had some very interesting poetry for us, and actually developed quite quickly as a character. But Doyle was like, "Fuck your character development, motherfucker! You sons of bitches, get the fuck out of my house!" So he kicks them out for no reason. Woo! So the kid's mom and Vaughn remind him that it's not his house, it's her house, and he needs to leave, or else they're gonna call cops. But he says, "The cops are on my side, bitch!" And then he shoves the girl, and the kid's like, "You motherfucker!" The kid starts throwing shit, and Doyle's like, "Ow! Ow! Stop the old crap!" And the kid's like, "No, I ain't gonna stop!" And then Carl's just sitting there like, "Yeah, I like french fried potatoes." After that fiasco and Doyle leaves, Carl asks the kid's mom to make him some biscuits, 'cause I guess they don't have any french fries. So that doctor guy from the beginning of the movie comes back to the lawnmower place to check up on Carl, and he sees the two fat guys are struggling with a lawnmower. So the doctor guy sits next to Carl, and he's like, "How's life going?" And Carl's like, "Pretty good. That boy's mom made me some biscuits. So then those useless fat guys call Carl over to find out what's wrong with the lawnmower, and he says, "It ain't got no gas in it." And Carl and the boys' family go over to Vaughn's house and have dinner, and Carl walks around with some fat girl for a little while. And then the next day, the fat girl brings Carl some flowers. And then Carl and the boy go out in the woods, and Carl tells the boy about how he had a little brother, but he killed him! No, not really. Carl just told the kid about how he buried his little brother alive when he was a little tiny itty bitty baby because the parents let him come out too soon and told him to do it, and he didn't know what he didn't know any better. He didn't. Oh. So they go back home the next day, and Doyle apologizes to the family, and he's real sincere about it. And then Carl plays football! Yeah, football! Football! After playing football for some reason, Carl decides to visit his old family home. Or in this case, the shed that his dad made him live in when he was a little boy. He finds his perfectly sane dad sitting in a chair, played by none other than Robert Duvall. Yeah, and he tells his dad that he studied about killing him while he was locked away in the fucking mental asylum because of how abusive his dad was. And how wrong it was for him to tell Carl to kill his little brother. And Carl says that he read the Bible quite a bit, And the Bible says you shouldn't kill people, so Carl's not gonna do it. So Carl leaves his dad alone to die in the chair of old age. And then Carl talks to a rock for a little while, I guess. So it's a dark, scary night. And it's real quiet inside of the house, and the boy is playing with some sock monkey thing. Doyle and the kid's mom are sleeping, and Carl walks in with a hammer and says, "I want to be baptized." So after the baptism, the family comes home, and Doyle's sitting around, I guess drinking, and the mom offers to go get some chicken while the boys stay home with Doyle. So Doyle gets up close and personal and says that he hates Frank and he wants Carl to get out and move out. And no more Vaughn. It's his family now. Ha ha ha. And little Frank tries to backtop and Doyle grabs him. But Carl jumps up and says, "Mister, you don't lay another hand on that boy, you understand me?" And Doyle's like, "Get the fuck out of my house, retard!" So he picks up his books and he starts leaving, I guess. And the mom comes around the corner and is like, "Don't you want some chicken, Carl?" And Carl's like, "No, ma'am. You go back in there with that Doyle and enjoy your chicken. I'm leaving, I guess." "Well, all right, then. You take care of that boy." "Okay, I'll take care of the boy." Carl then finds little Frank over by the lake, and he tells him he's leaving, and he's not coming back. And he tells Frank that he's going to be happy the rest of his life, and he can guarantee that. And to top it off, Carl gives Frank all his books and gives him a hug. And then Frank looks at the little bookmark, and it says, "You will be happy, you little son of a bitch." And Frank says, "Carl?" So then Carl gives Vaughn the money he made working on lawnmowers and whatnot, and tells Vaughn to let the boy and the mom stay over at his house tonight. And then he says, "God hates gay people." And then he leaves. And he walks around, and he stands around, and then he sits down and rubs his hands together. And then he says, "Fuck it." And he kills Doyle with a lawnmower blade. And to finish things off, he has himself some biscuits and mustard. So he goes back to the mental institution and listens to that fucking rapist guy, and then tells him to fuck off and go away, finally. So the rapist guy rubs his hands together, and then he fucking drags the chair. He drags the chair away while Carl stands up and looks out the window. The end. I rate this movie 4 French fries out of 5.